The 2024 summer transfer window could be one of the most pivotal moments in the club's recent history, and here's why. The team is entering a transitional phase under new manager Arne. Additionally, two long-serving players, Thiago and Joel Matip, have departed, with the possibility of more exits in the coming week. Although the transfer window hasn't officially opened yet, any competent club would have already started planning and negotiating potential deals to address certain weaknesses and improve the squad's depth. Now, we have no doubt in mind that is exactly what Liverpool's management is doing right now, and that's precisely what we're going to delve into today's video, as we will examine each position that needs attention and discuss all of the players currently being linked. But before we do get into today's video, as always, please do hit the old like button and subscribe to the channel for more Liverpool deep dives. First, let's start with a position many of us tend to overlook, the goalkeeper. Now, before you start booing, let us clarify that we're not suggesting replacing Alisson. He's the club's undisputed number one and will undoubtedly be Arne Slot's choice to guard the post. His skill set, from world-class saves to top-notch ball-playing ability, makes him one of the best keepers not only in the league but in the world. So why are we talking about needing a new goalkeeper? Well, we have third choice Adrian, who is leaving as a free agent with his contract expiring soon, but that's not the real issue. The main concern is with the best number two in the world, as Klopp described him, Kelleher. At 25, Kelleher has proven he's more than capable of being a regular starter for a top Premier League side. However, that opportunity won't come at Liverpool, as he immediately lost his place once Alisson returned from injury. With interest from Nottingham Forest and Celtic, the young keeper is at the right age to consider the next big step in his career, if the right offer comes in. There's no doubt the club would agree to part ways. So will the Reds spend big on a number two, while other areas urgently need improvement? Well, we highly doubt it. Instead, we believe the club might target a young, talented goalkeeper who's happy to be second choice and can perform well when called upon. Sunderland's Anthony Patterson and Wigan's young prodigy Sam Tickle are the names linked with a move to Anfield. Both goalkeepers come highly recommended, with Patterson earning plaudits for his performances at Sunderland and Tickle turning heads in League One and gaining an England under-21 call-up. But if these names do not impress you, recently there have even been reports suggesting that the Reds might be in for Arsenal's unwanted second-choice goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. Yes, we are also surprised by these reports, but with the Englishman's situation at the Emirates having fallen out of Arteta's favour and featuring just 11 times last season, Ramsdale might be on his way out. Liverpool, with their policy of allowing second keepers to play in cup competitions and considering Alisson's injury record in recent years, we might offer Ramsdale more playing time than he had under Arteta. Do we think Ramsdale is the perfect number two for the club? Well, not really, but if the price is right and he's happy to be second choice, it could be a deal that benefits all parties. So what do you think? Do you have any other realistic names that the club should target for the second choice goalkeeper? Let us know in the comments. Now, moving on up the pitch, the defence should be one of the club's top priorities in this transfer window. Currently, the club only have three recognised centre-backs: Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate and Jarell Quansah. Yes, Joe Gomez is naturally a centre-back, but he's been used more as a fullback recently, providing additional depth in that area and making it less urgent to find a replacement for Andy Robertson on the left-hand side. One important point to mention is that all three centre-backs at the club are right-footed. While this might not seem like a major issue, it could impact the way Arne Slot likes to build out from the back. See, having two centre-backs with different dominant feet can enhance ball circulation and progression higher up the pitch. Sure, a right-footed centre-back can play on the left, as Van Dijk has been doing, but the club is believed to be in urgent need of a left-footed defender to provide some more variance. The top candidates for the left centre-back position so far are Sporting Club de Portugal's Goncalo Inácio, Eintracht Frankfurt's William Pacho, and Feyenoord's David Hacho. All three players excel progressing the ball through passing or carrying, fitting well with the style of play Arne Slot is expected to implement. But does that mean the club is only looking for left-footed defenders? Absolutely not. As we mentioned, Virgil van Dijk can play as a left-sided centre-back, so links with players like Gertruda, who's entering the final year of his contract, and Lille's prodigy Lenny Yoro, who is also being monitored by Real Madrid and Manchester United, make perfect sense. Both players excel with the ball at their feet and are also very strong defensively. However, with Real Madrid in for the young Frenchman, Gertruda might just be the more sensible transfer, especially given his ability to play all across the back four and even as a pivot. So who would be your favourite pick for centre-back position? And do you think that the player must be left-footed? Or is that not really much of an important detail? Again, let us know down in the comment section below. Now let's move up to the midfield. This video is sponsored by Copite Clothing. Copite Clothing is a Liverpool clothing site owned by match-going fans. Each design is limited edition and is perfect to wear on a match day, on the terraces at Anfield, down your local, or cozy in the comfort of your own home. As stated, each design is limited edition, and if a product is showing out of stock, they will not be restocking the item, so if you have your eye on something, grab it fast. Lastly, Copite Clothing wants fellow Reds to be 100% satisfied with their orders, so if there is a reason you're not happy, they will refund you with no questions asked. Head over to copiteclothing.com or down into the link in the description to get all of your Liverpool merchandise. Anyway, let's get back into today's video. It's true that the club underwent an overhaul last summer, bringing in 4 new midfielders to replace Fabinho, Milner and Henderson. But does that mean the club won't have to address this area again? Not really. Liverpool currently only has Wataru Endo as a recognised number 6, and he wasn't even brought in to be a regular starter in the first place. The Japanese player is also 31 years old, and although he impressed during the season, it's likely the club will look for a new midfielder, especially with Slot's preference to play as a double pivot. Alexis McAllister and Curtis Jones can fill the role of a box-to-box midfielder, impacting all phases of play. However, the club also needs a destroyer in the middle of the park who can not only protect the back line but also progress the ball and influence play in the final third. This is where Wataru Endo falls short, as his creativity and attacking impact are somewhat limited. So who can fill that role? The club is currently linked with Matt Weifer, a key player under Slot at Feyenoord. The 24-year-old would cost around 40 million euros. In return, the Reds would get a player who excelled in the Eredivisie, both defensively and offensively, as reflected in his impressive metrics. But Weifer isn't the only option being considered for the defensive midfield position. There is also Manuel Ugarte from PSG. Although the Uruguayan's best attribute is acting as a shield for the defensive line, his ability under pressure raises some concerns. Plus, let's not forget his 60 million euros release clause, which the club will likely refuse to activate. This leaves us with 2 other names linked with a move to Anfield. The first is Porto's 22-year-old midfielder, Alan Varela, often compared to Javier Mascherano. Both players hail from Argentina and share a similar hunger and skill with the ball at their feet. Varela ranks highly among other midfielders in Liga Portugal in terms of passing quality and volume. However, his hefty 70 million euro release clause might force the Reds to reconsider their options. And this now brings us to the most recent defensive midfielder linked with Liverpool, the Brazilian 24-year-old Edison. Many of us might remember him from the club's clash with Atalanta in the Europa League, where he won 10 out of 15 duels over both legs. Edison is expected to cost the club around 40 million euros, similar to Weifer. However, there are concerns about his ability to fit into a more possession-based system, as Gasperini's Atalanta plays a more direct style and relies heavily on man-to-man marking. This system might have masked his weaknesses and highlighted his strengths. Here you can see the comparison between the 3 players we just discussed. And now the choice is yours. Which one would you prefer? Or do you have any other names in mind for the number 6 position? And whilst we are at it, why don't you let us know which player you'd like us to make a dedicated video about? Share your thoughts again in the comment section below. Now let's move on to the final department, the front line. The situation here might change with every passing day of the transfer window. Sure, the club might need both a forward and a striker, but this largely depends on the outgoings. Mo Salah is reportedly happy to stay at the club, but what if a mega offer comes in from Saudi Arabia? The Reds would then need to make a marquee signing to replace the Egyptian king. The same goes for Luis Diaz, who might leave if the right offer comes in. That's why links with West Ham Mohamed's Kudus didn't last, even though that the deal would make perfect sense for Liverpool. We explained this in detail in a special video about Kudus, so be sure to check it out. However, Kudus isn't the only winger linked with the Reds. We will remember Crysencio Somerville, who scored that late winner against us at Anfield. The 22-year-old had a stellar championship campaign with Leeds, scoring 21 goals and providing 10 assists. He's also being monitored by the club and is said to be admired by the new boss. Let's be honest, based on how Slot likes his wingers, Somerville might be the perfect fit. He likes to stay wide, is excellent at taking on players, and is creative between the lines. Now, in addition to the previously mentioned players, another potential target has recently emerged. This player can operate on the wing and can occupy the number 9 position, though this link might raise some eyebrows considering the seasons he's had. We're talking about Brentford's 24-year-old Bryan Mbeumo. The Cameroonian had a brilliant start to the season, scoring 7 goals and providing 3 assists in his first 15 league games. However, after suffering an ankle injury, Mbeumo missed almost half the season season before returning in the final months to add another 2 goals and 3 assists to his tally. Yes, it's not a bad season at all, but the injury might be causing the club to have second thoughts about it. Another potential deterrent is the Bees' reported asking price of €58 million for the player. If the price is right, especially considering the injury, there's no doubt Ynwa could be a great addition to the club. Despite missing 13 league games, he still ranks 7th for expected goals and 10th for expected assists, highlighting his ability to find dangerous positions and his creative flair. His versatility and ability to play both as a winger and a striker would provide numerous options for Arne Slot. Of course, Liverpool's transfer plans will depend on the outgoings and the budget allocated for new arrivals. However, the priority positions for the club should be a defender, a number 6, a goalkeeper, and a winger and a striker. So far, the names being linked do make perfect sense, since they offer the qualities that Arne Slot would prefer to have. But we care more about your opinion than what the media says. Which position do you think needs to be prioritised? Who are the players you want the club to sign? And if you want to learn more about a specific player, why don't you leave us a comment down below? We'll be sure to see if we can bring you more detailed analysis of each player you asked for. We hope you enjoyed our video, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button for more Liverpool deep dives. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Push.